Terence "Bud" Crawford won't go to jail for a dispute.
Omaha police launched an internal affairs investigation after a traffic stop involving Omaha native Terence "Bud" Crawford.
Hometown boxing champ Bud Crawford's accomplishments with a parade. He's pulled over by Omaha police, setting off a social media firestorm.
Seatbelt.
Step out.
I'm opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening
off
the door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
New leaked footage of Terence Crawford's shocking confrontation with police has just surfaced, and fans are stunned. Just weeks ago, the undefeated champion was on top of the world, fresh off the biggest win of his career. But instead of celebrating his legacy, Crawford suddenly found himself in a tense standoff at gunpoint, caught on video for the world to see. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because this is gonna be a good one. And I once again have to ask, seriously, as we break down every twist in this unbelievable story, how did a night meant to honor Omaha's hometown hero spiral into flashing lights, drawn weapons, and a police statement that left even the mayor demanding answers? This isn't just another celebrity scandal. It's a story that exposes the razor-thin line between triumph and disaster, and how one viral moment can overshadow a lifetime of glory. September 28 was supposed to be a day etched in history for Omaha, Nebraska. The city threw a parade to honor Terence "Bud" Crawford, the man who shocked the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez. It was more than just a celebration of a boxing match. It was a celebration of legacy. Crowds filled the streets. Coaches and peers praised Crawford as one of the sport's greats, and even celebrities like Eminem chimed in, calling him the GOAT in a congratulatory video.
Bud, what up, champ? Congratulations, man. You did it. I'm so proud of you. You used all my tricks to beat Canelo, just like I showed you. You went in there and you got it done. Unbelievable, bro. All jokes aside, fucking GOAT shit, man. Congratulations, champ. So well deserved. Salute.
For Crawford, it was a moment of vindication. He had silenced critics, defied the odds, and brought glory back to his hometown. Standing before his fans and the media, he promised he would enjoy the night, party hard, and soak in every ounce of recognition. But just hours later, the story of the parade, the story of his victory, was eclipsed by flashing red and blue lights on a dark Omaha street. But that night of celebration would spiral into something far darker. By early Sunday morning, Crawford's name was trending for an entirely different reason. A Facebook user named Dre Jimmy posted a video that immediately went viral. The clip didn't show a champion basking in glory. It showed Crawford sitting behind the wheel of his car in a tense exchange with police officers. The video is jarring. A police officer, gun drawn, points directly at Crawford while ordering him to get out of the vehicle. The tension is clear in Crawford's voice as he shouts, "I'm not reaching for no gun, bro." His hands are visible, his tone sharp with both fear and defiance. Moments later, he steps out of the car, the camera capturing the uneasy standoff. Within hours, the footage had spread across social media like wildfire. Fans who had cheered him at the parade now watched in disbelief as their champion faced the barrel of a gun.
Emerging from an incident early this morning surrounding Terence "Bud" Crawford and his security team. It escalated to a point where guns were drawn by police.
And the question everyone asked was simple. What could have sparked such a dangerous confrontation? By Sunday afternoon, the Omaha Police Department released an official statement confirming what millions had already seen online. The stop wasn't random. According to police, the incident began when they spotted a vehicle driving recklessly. The driver was quickly identified as Terence Crawford, with 3 passengers riding alongside him. But what escalated the situation was what officers claimed to see next: a firearm resting on the driver's side floorboard. For safety reasons, all occupants were ordered out of the car at gunpoint. The police confirmed that one passenger, a member of Crawford's security team, was also carrying a firearm, but legally. In fact, every single occupant of the vehicle was licensed to carry. Still, the optics of Omaha's biggest star, fresh from a parade, being pulled out of his car at gunpoint were too powerful to ignore.
My chief of staff, Tom Warren, both reached out to Mr. Crawford, and he indicated that he would like us to do an investigation.
The situation left fans rattled, officials scrambling, and even the mayor himself pledging a full and transparent investigation. But even with legal permits in place, the standoff left the city shaken. As the video gained traction online, Omaha's leadership knew they couldn't stay silent. Mayor John Ewing issued a statement almost immediately, and his words reflected the emotions of an entire city. He admitted that his heart dropped when he learned the night of celebration had ended in flashing lights and fear. For a community that had just come together to honor their champion, this was the last image anyone wanted to see.
Crawford to exit the vehicle, and he did, and then Mr. Crawford was placed in handcuffs while they conducted their investigation.
Ewing emphasized how important trust between law enforcement and the public is, especially in a city where Crawford is both a hero and a role model. He promised transparency, pledging that the events of that night would not be brushed aside or forgotten. At the same time, Police Chief Todd Schmaderer confirmed that an internal investigation would be launched into the stop. The chief acknowledged the seriousness of the moment and promised that every detail, from the officers' decisions to the outcome of the encounter, would be reviewed. This wasn't just about Crawford anymore. It was about the relationship between Omaha's citizens and its police department. And the stakes couldn't have been higher.
Cop comes to my window, cop goes to Bud's window. I know the protocol. No, I don't have it on me. I left everything at home. He had already told them, so there was no reason for him to reach for nothing.
While leaders called for answers, the internet was already exploding with debate. By the time the sun rose the next day, Crawford's name was everywhere. On Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, the leaked footage was being dissected frame by frame. Fans who had just been celebrating his win now watched, horrified, as their champion stood at gunpoint in his own city. Outrage came quickly. Many questioned whether the situation was handled fairly, pointing out that Crawford repeatedly insisted he wasn't reaching for a weapon. Supporters demanded to know why Omaha's hero had been treated like a suspect instead of a celebrated figure returning home. But the debate was far from one-sided. Others defended the officers, arguing that once a firearm was spotted on the floorboard, procedure demanded a high-alert response. To them, this wasn't about fame, it was about safety. Still, the image of a world champion boxer, hands in the air while police aimed a gun at him, was too powerful to ignore. The clip became more than just a viral moment. It became a lightning rod for conversations about policing, fame, and the fragile line between respect and suspicion.
It's crazy because it's funny because when I was with Top Rank, you know, a lot of people was always saying, man, he's broke, he's this and that and that and this. And I was getting paid good money. But I'm like, man, I don't have to box. Like, I can retire.
That's a flex.
Y'all box because y'all have to. I box because I love it.
Yeah.
You know?
Meanwhile, Crawford himself had his own words for critics and fans alike. In the days that followed, Crawford wasn't silent. Instead, he used the attention to address not only the police encounter, but also the way he's been perceived throughout his career. On Cam Newton's 4th and 1 podcast, Crawford spoke bluntly about his legacy. "I don't have to box. I box because I love it," he said, firing back at critics who claimed he only fought Canelo Alvarez for the money. For Crawford, the victory wasn't about a paycheck. It was about cementing his place in history. He also admitted he doesn't expect full recognition until after he retires.
Canelo, oh, he's just boxing because he won a bag. I'm like, bro, listen, I don't got to box. The bag, yeah, that's definitely, you know what I mean, tasty, you know, but at the same time, beating Canelo is going to be worth more than the bag, you know, at the end of the day, because I'm going to be talked about. 100 years, they're going to be like, man, you remember that kid from Omaha, Nebraska, Bud Crawford?
"I'm never really going to get my full respect until after retirement," he explained, frustrated that people continue to shift narratives around his achievements. Beating Canelo, one of the sport's biggest icons, should have erased all doubt. Instead, detractors tried to dismiss it, claiming Canelo was past his prime or not motivated. But Crawford was unfazed. To him, legacy outweighs money, and critics will never silence the accomplishments he's worked his entire life to achieve. And he wasn't the only one weighing in. The boxing world quickly rallied around Crawford. From celebrities to coaches, everyone had something to say about both his recent victory and the chaos that followed.
What up, champ? Congratulations, man. You did it. I'm so proud of you. You used all my tricks to beat Canelo.
Eminem himself sent a video message that quickly went viral. In his signature style, he congratulated Crawford, calling him the GOAT and praising his masterful performance against Canelo. For fans, it was surreal. One of music's biggest icons saluting one of boxing's greatest fighters.
Could stop him the second time. I think we could stop him the second time. I think it'll be worse. Because honestly, I don't feel like a sharp Bud Crawford. I don't think Canelo can hurt him. Them guys, they didn't have the IQ that Crawford has, you know. So maybe they didn't see those punches coming, but Crawford got everything ahead of him. He's 2 steps ahead of him, as you can see. None of the shit he was doing that he normally do work. None that he normally do work.
Inside Crawford's camp, his coach Bernie Davis went even further, confidently predicting that Crawford would stop Canelo in a rematch. Davis claimed the first fight was just the beginning and insisted Canelo couldn't hurt Crawford no matter how hard he tried.
Look, I think what we shouldn't be saying is Canelo's old, Canelo's shot, because you've got to give the credit to Crawford. Yeah. But Canelo's nowhere near the fighter he once was. And I'm talking about particularly maybe around Golovkin 1 and that kind of time. I mean, you know, I feel like, you know, when I watch the Skull fight, and I just, you know, a certain style is not good for Canelo.
On the business side, promoter Eddie Hearn gave a blunt assessment. He doubted Canelo would even want a rematch. In Hearn's eyes, Crawford was simply too difficult a matchup. Too smart, too skilled, too much of a nightmare in the ring.
They're paying the money at the end of the day, so fuck, let's go to war. Let's do what these people want to see us do, and let's go to war, and may the best man win.
Meanwhile, David Benavidez dismissed the idea of fighting Crawford at 168 pounds, saying he was more focused on light heavyweight. Still, his comments showed how much Crawford's name was looming over the sport. He was now the man everyone had to consider, even in divisions above his own.
It's boxing, you know, anything happens. Everybody got their own opinion. What's yours? My opinion is I like who I like. You know, I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Bernard Whitaker.
And finally, rising star Jaron Boots Ennis gave Crawford his flowers, calling the win over Canelo historic and a great moment for boxing. From veterans to up-and-comers, the respect was undeniable. But while the boxing world debated his legacy, the Omaha incident leaves lingering questions. What began as a perfect day of triumph for Terence "Bud" Crawford ended in flashing lights, raised voices, and the barrel of a gun. His parade, his victory, and even the respect of his peers were overshadowed by one viral clip that showed just how quickly a hero's story can change. Now, fans are left wondering, was this an overreaction by police? Or simply standard procedure when a firearm was spotted? Will the internal investigation clear the air? Or only deepen the divide between law enforcement and the community? And most importantly, what does this mean for Crawford's future inside and outside the ring? One thing's for certain, the story of Terence "Bud" Crawford is far from over. Let us know your thoughts in comments below. Alright guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content, and check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out.